got to step into my power so that I can empower more women who were struggling just like I was.
So earlier in my career, I wish somebody would have told me that not everybody wants to see me win. Not everybody was going to be by my side. I had to learn to be my biggest cheerleader, to be the person to go out there and step out of my comfort zone and do new things, try new things, because not everybody is going to be supportive.
Guess what? You're not in it alone, because there's tons of women out there that are struggling just like you, who want to be there to support you.
Look at, we're texting each other. Hey everyone, welcome back to You Were Meant for More. I'm your guest, Francina Ayala. Don't mind us. You already know things happen, technology happens. And so guess what? Technology happened to us right now. We're both texting each other. Can you see me? Can you see me? Are we live? But honestly, who better to do it with than this beautiful woman that I have the pleasure of you all meeting today. If you don't know her already, she's one of my good friends, Laura Castro. And obviously we're going to be jumping into this, but right now we're just trying to figure out this whole tech thing. The internet wasn't working. She went and reset, and then it was just crazy. It was madness. But so Laura, hey, it happened.
Now
right?
you have a story to tell.
You what?
Now we have a story to tell.
No, of course. The thing is, it's so funny because I went to Instagram and I go, we're having connection issues. I go, we are 5 minutes away from being live. I said, so pray for us that all is well. And so, yeah, I'm not even worried about
it.
We're,
That's the important thing. We're here.
We're good. It's all good. You all know there's technology that, sometimes likes to mess with us. But especially when we have a strong message to share, right, Laura?
Tell me about it. It's the universe. It's the universe telling us.
Conspiring against us to keep us playing small, but we shall succeed. We shall go forward.
You cannot shut us up.
Yes, you can't shut us up. You can't dim our light. You can't do any of that. Oh my goodness. Okay, deep breath, because both her and I were she's like, are you just as stressed out as I am right now, or freaking out? You're like, are you just as freaked out? I'm like, girl, yes. But it's crazy because, you think about it, and I remember from my first show to this show, I feel so much peace and so much just at ease because, we know technology, right? We know that it sometimes can be weird. And I think I was just more are we going to make it happen versus you know what, we'll deal with it, as it goes. And so that's why I said, if the internet goes out, just pop back in and we'll continue.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right, everyone. Let's get this show started. We have a lot to share with you. I'm excited to share all of Laura with you. But first, I want to go ahead and introduce her to you all. I can't wait. So let me do this, Laura. Laura is a multifaceted graphic designer and entrepreneur whose journey includes a wide spectrum of experiences. She started as a kindergarten teacher. And let me just tell you, she has patience because she works with me. So let me tell you, she has a lot of patience.
She served me in a lot of different ways, believe me.
Exactly. But just highlight that, kindergarten teacher, and transition to producing award-winning music videos and commercials, and eventually established her own graphic design shop and became a Story Brand certified guide. Her versatile skill set and adaptability enabled her to craft compelling design solutions for small business as well as Fortune 500 companies. Her curiosity and multifaceted interests drive her to continually expand her knowledge, enhancing her ability to deliver exceptional work and service. Outside of her professional life, she loves enjoying playful moments with her children. She has 2 amazing boys who I adore so much, and a fabulous husband who is so sweet that he let me steal her away for a weekend while we went and planned out business stuff. So
we're going to be doing much more, so he's fine.
Yeah. So big shout out and love to Martin. Thank you so much. And to the boys for allowing me to use their mom and wife for so much good things that we are spearheading. So so this is Laura, everyone. I had to share that because
everyone.
she is
Thank you,
phenomenal.
Francine, for the beautiful introduction. Like sometimes I hear it and like it doesn't feel like me, but yes, it's me.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry. What's crazy is I literally I popped in I was updating some stuff, and I happened to pop into my link tree that's on my Instagram, and it had old stuff and everything. And I saw an interview that Brandon did on his old podcast that he did of me. And I'm looking back and I'm like, as he introduced me, you're just like, oh,
that's nice. Thank
you. I want to be like, who are they talking about? Wow, that person sounds phenomenal.
I know it's so hard to see our own accomplishments, right?
We do. Yeah.
Absolutely. We're pretty hard on ourselves. It tends to be that way. So yeah.
Yes, 100%. Oh my goodness. But yeah. And that's why we're here. I mean, I did a live and I talked to Instagram and told them we are all about getting people out of their head. And that's going to be our topic today, that you and I were talking about how, you wanted to share that. But before we get into it, we're going to get to know more about you. I was telling everybody, I'm bringing this Argentinian firecracker on my show.
I don't know why you're saying firecracker.
She may look sweet on the outside, but let me tell you, she will kick you into gear.
She's the devil behind.
She's a sweetheart, though. But honestly, I love that you're able to, get people moving. And that's, first I want to start off with your story. So you're from Argentina. So tell our listeners, our viewers, who you are. How did you get started?
That's a very long question.
Yeah.
And do you have?
Let's fast forward. I know Brandon's like from 3 years old or no.
Yes, I'm originally from Argentina. I've moved here, I want to say 19 years ago now. And the reason I came here, it was supposed to be moving my husband down to Argentina. And that, of course, didn't work out because 19 years later, here I am. In Argentina, I used to be a kindergarten teacher. I loved it. And when I moved here, I was trying to figure out, since I have to start all over again to be able to work, what are other passions that I have that, I can do? So that's when I started studying graphic design and I started getting in that world. In the middle, I'm not going to list the 1,000 things I did. At one point, when someone would approach me and ask me, what do I do? I would respond miscellaneous because I was doing well, what do you need? I might know it. So yeah, I always consider myself very resourceful for that matter. So I did a lot of different things in the middle, but I was lucky enough that when I arrived, one of the first things I did was to work as an office manager for a production company. And that's where I started learning about the production world. Funny story was that at the interview, they asked me if I knew several programs they were using. And I was like, yeah. And I remember I have never seen a Mac in my life. I was a Windows girl, and they all work with Mac. So as soon as I got home and they told me I was hired, I started calling everyone I knew. I was like, do you have a Mac? Do you have a Mac?
Oh my goodness.
And try to learn things before my first day. So I was that kind of girl. And I've worked there for several years until I decided to quit and start working, doing graphic design and things on my own. And this is the story I was telling you the other day, that a very dear friend of mine approached me and he was like, Laura, I'm shooting this commercial and I need help. And we don't have a budget, but we really need help. And I was like, I was just the office manager. I don't know nothing. I cannot help you. I said, no, no, no. I just wanted to focus on my little thing that is was, I was the office manager and I do web, I do design, but like production, I don't know. And he begged me, we went back and forth several times. And I really remember the moment where he was like, well, look, this is the truth. I don't have money and you are the only person that can help me. So do me a favor. I'll help you, but do me a favor. I need to show that I have a producer. So please, like, show up. I'll help you. We'll do it together. And I was like, okay, I'll do it for you. But I could not picture myself doing it. I did not trust myself. I didn't consider that I had the knowledge to do it, even though I was a very resourceful person. And it's funny because we did it. Like, I did most of the job and we didn't have money at all. Like, we ended up, there were 3 of us creating the commercial and we ended up putting money out of our pocket between the 3 of us to make it happen. And I got like the location for free and I was asking favors all over. We spent $600 to shoot a commercial. I don't know if you know anything about budgets for commercials, but that's like not even one day of production for one camera guy. Like, that's not even what they charge. They charge, like, it's insane. And there's millions of dollars that cost to shoot a 30-second commercial or 15-second commercial. And we did it. We did it with $600. And after we recorded it, that commercial ended up winning several like awards, like all over. It even won the Gold Cannes Lion for the low production budget. But I was like, I didn't believe it. And after that, this guy ended up hiring me several more times to create music videos and other things. But that's the part I was telling you. Like, I did not believe I could do it. I did not believe in me. The only reason I did it was because I had someone that was pushing and rooting for me.
Yeah.
And that's over important because most of the time we don't believe in our own capabilities, but other people are able to see what we are capable of, right? So yeah.
Oh, it's
Long
so
story
true.
short.
No, it's so true. But how you said others are able to see, you know, something within us that we don't think we're capable of. And, you know, I was sitting with one of my NLP master coaches and she told me this same thing. Like, actually, no, I was listening to one of her podcasts and she was just like, let me borrow belief from me. Paraphrasing. But basically it was like borrow belief from me until you believe in yourself. And it was just like, it was so good because sometimes, like, you know, we get stuck in our head about it.
All the time. It's right. All the time.
And so it's so funny because you literally went from, I'm going to get this job. Do you know how to work a Mac? Absolutely. You have no clue. Absolutely. 100%. I can do that.
But, you know, I think the difference was that, you know, at that point when I was like, yeah, absolutely, I can do it. It was like, I need to get the job. I need to get going. I was on the need side. I needed that. So I was pushing myself to do even the things that I didn't know in order to get it done. Like, I have that type of personality also. But on this other opportunity, it was someone else asking me something that I did not believe I was capable of. Other people depended on me because, you know, in order to make the commercial happen, like they depended on me. We didn't have the money. So there was a lot of problems, or not problems, but like roadblocks from the beginning that I didn't believe I was going to be able to solve. So the Mac thing, I was like, I'll stay overnight and I'll learn and I look for it and I read tutorials and I'll do whatever I need to do in order to learn it. And I have some time before they figure out that I don't know what I'm doing. But these, like the short spam, it was very short. And a person that I dearly had close to my heart was dependent on me, so I didn't want to fail him. So that also was like playing games in my brain, I think.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know, it's so funny how we can perceive things depending on the circumstance, right?
Yeah, because again, it's so funny because I'm just taking two different situations, and it could be, I'm sure it was two different times in your life where one time you were like, yes, gun ho, and the other time you were just like, no, like your resourcefulness was not it didn't play forward. And it was just like, because again, we all get trapped in these types of self-doubt and so forth, where I remember when starting Wheela, and I just so much self-doubt, so much self-sabotage. And it was just like, but I kept doing it. You know what I mean? And I was like, somewhere inside, I did believe in myself. But like we were talking earlier about, my coach always calls this the itty bitty shitty committee that sits here. And it's true. I'm like, I feel like they're just chilling and having coffee, or they're drinking wine, and they're like, yeah, well, we're going to think about this. And I'm like, hello, like we need to take action. So, but when we talked about get out of your head, I was sharing with the audience, how, you were going to give them tangible things to do, to take action so that they're not, trapped. Yeah. Where their little committee isn't sitting there and just chilling.
Well,
So it's what can they do to not feel stuck there? And how can they get their mind to work for them instead of against it?
Yes. So the first thing that now that I'm more aware, because it takes a very long process to become aware whenever you say I can't.
Right.
It's really first of all, becoming aware that you're saying that you can't. And then asking yourself and being really honest with yourself is is it really that you can't? Is it that you don't want to? Because sometimes we say I can't, but it's just because internally, deep down, we don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And it's fine, but it's good to be aware that you don't want to do it, and then be honest with yourself and other people. That's the reason why. So first, identify that you want to do it or not. And if you really want to do it, is start asking ourselves smarter questions. That's the way I call it. Usually we don't question ourselves. We don't question our mind. We don't question our thoughts, right? I think I can't, therefore I can't, period. Instead of believing everything that our mind and our thoughts come up with, it's start questioning. Whenever you think I can't, be honest with yourself, think if you want to or not. And if you really want it, it's change the question and start asking yourself, okay, if I really want to do it, how can I do it? Can I ask for help? Can I go online and search and learn about this specific thing that I do not know how to do? Be really conscious and ask yourself, am I afraid? Because that's a lot of the times whenever we were saying I can't, is sometimes we really want to, but we are afraid of something.
Yeah.
And that fear is the one that is taking us and keeping us low. It's keeping us stuck. It's that fear, and identify where that fear is coming from is super important. Is it fear of what other people are going to think? Is it fear the judgment? Is this fear of rejection? Is the fear of, I don't know, depending on the situation, it might be fear to different things, right? So identify where that's coming from. It's super important. In my life, I found that most of the time, when I say I can't, and I really ask myself, and I'm honest with myself, and I really want to, but I'm getting myself stuck is fear of judgment. Like it's 99% of the time, it's I fear someone else is going to judge me.
Yeah.
And when that happens, we need to also be honest with ourselves. And it's like, okay, there's always, always someone that is not going to like you. There's always going to be someone that doesn't believe what you believe or like thinks differently. And there's always going to be someone that is going to judge you. But do you care about that someone? Do
Wear
you
your
care?
crown. No.
But you know that is real. We don't think it that way, but we feel it. And we feel it really deep down, and it keeps us stuck because we don't see the good side. We don't see like all the people that are going to be thankful that we spoke up, that we did what we did. Like we only think on the negative side. It's very hard to think on the positive side of things.
One of the things, absolutely. One of the things that comes to mind is, so you've uncovered the fear of judgment, right? So, you know, first it's like the awareness, okay? And then it's like the fear of, okay? So it's like, once you've uncovered that fear of XYZ, but let's go with judgment. Where is that root cause? Where did that come from?
I can tell you where on my experience.
She's like, I'm just going to tell you where mine came from. I'll tell you right now.
I did that work already.
She's like, I did all the work. It's great, you know? Laura, feel free to share. You go for it, girl.
No, it's funny, but it's like sometimes it's the most stupid thing, right?
It really is,
it's like honestly. Most of the times it's like I tell myself, I cannot believe that I'm being stuck because of this.
Yeah.
Because most of the times are things that either happen like way back then, and of course they're not serving us anymore, or they were meant for something else, but we take it to all levels of our life, right? And as silly as it sounds, when I was younger, and even like every single time I go back to Argentina and visit my family, I would have my mom tell me, like, look me up and down and be like, are you gonna go out dressed like that? Aren't you gonna comb your hair a little bit more? Aren't you gonna use makeup? Like all these things that is like, aren't you good? And it's like, oh, what are other people gonna think about it? And it's like, it's silly and I laugh about it, but it's ingrained in my brain. So it's like, ooh, what are other people gonna think about? It's probably like my mom if it's washing. Right. Thankfully her English is really bad, so it's gonna go so fast that probably she won't get it.
Sorry, Mom.
But it's like, I know she has her best intents, and she means like, oh, you know, you should dress up for success always, you know, like I know she means good, but it's so tricky how our brain interprets it, right? It's like 100%. It's not getting it in the right category. It's not like being like, oh, this is meant for this only instead of your whole life. So it can come again from silly things, or it can come from other more, you know, deep experiences that you like might have traumatized you in the past or some things like that. But yeah, it's like, so that's where it's coming up for me.
Right. So let's kind of share that with the audience, because if you're new to this, I know several of my episodes have, you know, gone into the mindset and so forth. But if you're new to this, you know, she shared a very good example as far as how we get programmed because of past situations, people who, you know, who were the closest to us, family members, mentors, you know,
teachers.
teachers, you know,
Friends.
kindergarten teachers. I'm just kidding. I know, right? No, but it's true. It's so like, for example, like, I mean, I've shared this before, and it's like, I'm so glad you're just as transparent as I am. Is, you know, I had money blocks for the longest time, and it was because I had a lot of, we don't have enough.
Yeah.
We can't afford that. That's too much. You know, so here
money
I was.
doesn't grow on trees.
Money doesn't. Oh man, I heard that one. Money doesn't grow on trees, and I was just like, really? I mean, can't we just print it? Like, I mean, like, you know,
I have a printer. Ooh, mama.
yeah, like, you know, don't trees make paper? Can we just print it? Like, you know, like, again, we don't realize the type of things. And again, our parents didn't know any better. They don't, you know that words that they said to us, like, continuously stuck within us, stuck on our neurology, stuck within our brain, you know, that we maneuver based on what they said about us. And it happened a lot to me too, because it was just like, I remember sorry, Ma. I remember
Today's Mom's Day.
Today's Mom's Day. Sorry. I remember the whole, like,
have always the fault. Don't worry.
Yeah, but I would serve myself and like, ay, mija, you're going to eat all that? Then I'd put more.
5 times more.
5 times more. But again, you get to realize, you know, when you start doing that deeper work, you get to realize, like, where certain things hold on to you, and like, why do you think things? Like, I think today's conversation, Laura, you and I talked about, you know, how I move fast in business. So if you don't know already, Laura and I have partnered up to bring business for you all, and it's fabulous. So we'll share more at the end. But, you know, she shared something with me that I thought was very insightful, because again, my coach even said, I do, if you're not personally developing consistently, you're not really going to go anywhere. You're not going to get out of the space you're in, because you constantly have blinders. But it's like, we're like an onion. There's constant layers that you peel. And so, like, as you're peeling a layer, guess what? There's another blind spot. As you're peeling that layer, there's another blind spot. So it's like, and
it never ends. It's not like the onion that you're at one point you're going to get to the center. No.
Yes, I know. It's going to just keep peeling, but that's okay. That's the knowledge that you get to know and understand about yourself. And so when Laura and I were sharing, I don't know if you want to share more, Laura. I mean, I'm open to it. Again, I'm very open and transparent about what, you know, my own personal development. But it's like, she even asked me, because the way I maneuver is I do everything fast paced. And and
you get frustrated with me.
I'm a correct. No. Yes. Let's just call it how it is, people. Let's just call it how it is, okay? Again, what I love about her is that she knows me. So, like, we get to know each other and, like, appreciate each other's way of being. You know what I mean? But we have love for each other. We laugh about it. So she knows when I get frustrated. And then she asks me questions. And so that's how today's conversation went. And it was like, well, you know, I'm like, I told her I'm the creator. I like having the ideas, and then I give it to the team and you guys run with it. And she's just like, so why are you running? so
I like to walk.
Did anybody tell you that you're too slow? Just like, I was like, did anybody tell me that I'm slow? I literally was questioning it. Like, at the time, we were very in thought, but right now we're seriously laughing about it, because I was just like, am I slow? But again, these are just, we share these things because they're thought provoking, you know, like, it gets you thinking about a possibility that there is a block somewhere that I have, and I'm open to receiving what it is that is keeping me in that space of, like, constant go, go, go. You know what I mean?
I do.
I know she knows.
Matter of fact, I do.
So yeah, I just wanted to share that. And if you want to add anything to it of what you saw and what what your take on it was, I'm always open because her and I, we
Yeah,
go
you
back.
know, the thing is, for like, at least for me, like, I have my own blockages, and
Right.
it, like, as everyone, we it's very hard for us to see our own blind spots, right? That's like, that's why in the cars we have the mirror, right? Because there are points where you cannot see unless you have some support. And for me, that's coaching, that's therapy, that's external work. Because I know that there are many sides of myself that I'm not going to be able to see. I'm not going to be able to realize or like accept or identify that I have a blind spot.
Right.
That's why I need help.
Right.
And that's part of what, I like about working with you and someone else. It's like, other people are going to be able to see your own blockages, even though if you can't. And that's the part that I enjoy from our relationship, that we are both very transparent, like very straight shooters, like, don't sugarcoat things for me, like, give it to me as is, like, I can take it. And it creates that kind of conversations that let you thinking, right? And it's like, as you said, it opens possibilities of being like, I didn't think it that way, like, I always saw it this way, but now that you say, it's like, and you can start changing things because now you became aware of that problem, right? Now
Right.
you became aware of that blind spot that you have. So yeah, that was part of today's conversation that we had, and it was really good. I think I don't
No,
know how
I
you
thought it
felt
was great.
afterwards.
I thought it was great because I mean, I'm always open for feedback, for constantly growing. It's that growth mindset that I have. And the thing is, like, even my coach, she's just like, it's something she peeled another layer. And the thing is, like, I get frustrated because it's kind of like, sometimes I think back and I worked on that, right? But guess
Yeah.
what? There was another layer to that I was unaware of.
Yes.
And so I do get frustrated, and it's not towards anybody. And they know that it's not towards anybody that is working with me. It's the
Yeah.
frustration in me.
Yeah.
It's the frustration that it's like, oh man, you didn't see that. But we got to give ourselves grace for how far we've come.
Yeah, and again, the frustration is against yourself, right?
Right.
It means that, I don't know, for me at least, I'm gonna put it in myself. It's that, like, I could do better. I should have seen that. Like, I expect more from myself, right?
We always do.
So it's super easy for us to keep kicking our own butts and being like, oh, you should have seen that. But that's also a mechanism that we have to keep us going, right?
Yeah.
To be like, you could do it better. Come on, get going.
Let's go.
I want to do it yesterday. You should have nailed it yesterday.
Pretty much. And now you can see why she's on the team. Again, same type of what, that willingness, that drive, that excitement to know that we're headed towards, amazing things. And it's like, we want to be able to take the audience there, which I guess we're here on this topic. But yes, let's talk about what's coming. I know.
Okay.
So
Go ahead.
Well, let me see. Well, back then, okay, so Wheela started, and if you don't know, if you're new here, Wheela is an organization that I created out of depression back in 2017. It was literally a Facebook page where I wanted to create a community for women to connect and to know that they were supported, whatever they were going through, because I was going through depression. Laura came in at the end of 2018, and she was just like, hey, what do you need help with? I'm here. Now, somebody new coming who I didn't know versus the 400 and something people I invited from my Facebook group to come into this community, who didn't like, who didn't comment, who didn't share, nothing. So if you're ever going out there and doing big things and none of your family or friends support you,
it's fine.
It's fine. It's always going to be the people that don't know you, but they love what you're doing. So keep going. And so, yeah, so Laura came in and she just like, love what you're doing. And, you know, how can I help out? And so I just was so appreciative of that. And so from 2018 all the way to 2024, you know, you've been popping in and out at some of the events and stuff. And so, you know, I knew she was a mom, you know, her boys were a lot younger too. And it was just like, you know, her being home, you know, and then like, she was in Midtown, Mid-Wilshire area.
And we had some sort of connection. We we met several times during the events and outside the events. And it's funny because something that you said, it's right, like at the beginning of this conversation, and it's like, when I joined the group, I saw actually the potential in you that you were not seeing on yourself.
Oh, right.
Like, this guy was seeing the potential on myself that I was not seeing. Like, I was seeing that on you. And I, you know, that's a common trait also. Like, I wanted to point it out because like there's many people out there that probably are not believing in themselves, and they don't have that someone that is rooting for them yet. And I think it's super important for them to know that keep going. You just need to keep going. Like you kept going even though I was not there for you all the time. Like I was in and out. Like you didn't have someone constantly being like, yes, Francine, go. Like it's painful, it's sad, but it's reality, right?
But you know, you're grateful for the ones that did. I mean, even they were from afar, and I was just like, because again, I did not believe in myself. There were like so many times, like even when I'd have the summits and the conferences, and they would come up and be like, oh my God, Francine, you're so amazing. I love what you're doing. And I just like, thanks. Yeah. I didn't believe them. You know what I mean? I was just, it's not that I didn't believe them. I didn't believe me. So it was kind of like they would say it and it didn't stick, you know? And that's, you know, why I'm so grateful, you know, for our relationship, because you saw me in a different space in my life where I did not believe in myself, where I didn't believe I can lead this whole women movement. You know what I mean? Where we can do this together as a community. Yeah. I just didn't think I was good enough. You know what I mean? So it's like,
I do know. I do remember our 25 cents conversation.
Oh my goodness. Let's talk. You know what, people, you know that when I bring people on as guests, there's always going to be a story. I forgot about that. Let's break that.
No, you should keep that coins up right there next to your computer.
Yeah, I know. It should be next to my computer. It's a quarter, by the way. Was it quarter or 50 cents?
No, it was a quarter.
It was a quarter. Okay. Go ahead, Laura. Share exactly what happened in that meeting and how, you know, she did. She set me straight because, again, it was all perspective. You don't realize what you're doing until you actually see it. And I just saw a Netflix special about this, and it's like you don't realize it until you break it down. Yeah. And you know, it's same thing happened to this guy, and I was just like, oh my goodness. So yes, please share, Laura.
Okay. So as we already said, I am a straight shooter, and Francine also is a straight shooter. And during one of those years that like I was popping in and out of the group, one day we said, hey, do you want to get for a coffee? And we met I can't even remember where, but it was like far away from, or at least where I live. I think it was somewhere in the middle between us. And we started having a conversation, and you started sharing all the things that you were doing. And at that point, I was doing coaching as well, business coaching.
Yes.
And I started asking you questions, and we started putting everything down, right? We started to plan everything, and it was so excited. And I remember Francine was like, yes, and I'm going to charge this and this and that, and I'm going to do this and this. And she was super excited. And I was like, mm-hmm. And I let her talk. And she was like, at one point all done, and I'm like, so let me see, hold on a second. And I'm like, okay, hold on. I opened my wallet, I got a quarter, and I'm like, here, like, now can I buy 1 hour of your time? And she was like, what? And I was like, well, that's what your time is worth. And she was like, what do you mean? And we started talking and like revising our whole plan. And like, she was like, not like giving a lot in terms of things that right now you can do evergreen, and it's like, it's fine, you're giving a lot, but she was giving her own time, like one-on-one time, and a lot of effort for just 25 cents an hour. And I was like, you're never going to grow to the impact that you want doing this plan. And I remember that was like,
Yeah, she literally shot me down right there, and I was like, it blew me away. I didn't take into, account my time. And that's like, when I work with clients now too, it's like, the time that you're putting in, the time that you did to create what you put together. So it's like when I was starting off, it was very like, I didn't know how to charge people properly.
Yeah.
But you got to look at that. You got to look at everything that, like, I remember reading like something, along the line of, kind of like bookkeepers. Bookkeepers will charge, let's say, $100 an hour. And it's like, yeah, but it's so easy to do X, Y, Z. Why can't they do that? You're basically paying for the training, for the time that they invested to learn all of the codes that they need to know to get your books right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, it's like, it's all of that. And that is where it hit me too. Like, you got to think about all the time and money that you invested to get you to the person you are today. And so yeah, so that was
yeah. And we can get money, like, and how to charge for your services on another day, on another topic,
right.
But it's a lot of our own, like, the pricing that you were putting, it was a lot of like not confident, right? Like, I'm
absolutely
scared of charging more. And it's that self-doubt that we always carry around, right? It's like, we tend to not believe in ourselves. We tend to not like trust that we can be perceived differently, right? Until someone else comes and it's like, you're worth more. You are worth more than this.
And I just remember thinking in the very beginning, I wasn't good enough for people to pay me. Oh my goodness. That was literally like, seriously, that was my thought process. And I've been working with coaches upon coaches, friends, coaches, you know what I mean? That I just, it was a lot of self-doubt, a lot of self-sabotage for years. I remember I self-sabotaged for 20 years before I went into entrepreneurship, so it's like, think about it. People are starting their career at 50, at 60, at 70, at 80. I've been going to webinars with 80-year-old people. Seriously, you saw it.
The other day to the webinar that we were together, I took screenshots of some of the ladies there, and I'm like, they could be my grandma.
Right. Oh my goodness. You have no idea. Like, the personal development space is huge. And it's like, oh my goodness. So anyways.
Okay. Let me ask you something before you change something.
Go ahead.
You said that you didn't believe in yourself, right? That you didn't believe that you were worth paying, right? That your customer, like, how did you change it? if someone else is having that issue right now and they're listening to you, like, what helped you change that?
A lot of personal development. So I did, I went into coaching, I went into training, NLP. And I learned and uncovered a lot of things about myself that made me aware. So do I recommend NLP
for things to do to help them overcome that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I mean, these are so needed. Like 100% you have to do is any form of personal development. So one, you should be listening to podcasts every single day or reading and reading books that are going to personally develop you. Watch YouTube videos that are personally developing you. You have to be in that space where you're constantly learning to get your subconscious mind to think differently, to know differently, to understand differently, and work with a mentor, work with a coach. You have to, because they are going to be pulling out those blind spots for you. If you're looking to get to your next level, that is just, you have to. So it's like, I tell people, obviously, because I mean, I've been in that space where I couldn't afford a coach. I couldn't afford training, and stuff like that. I took all the free webinars, you name it. I signed up for all the free webinars. So it's like, I remember everything I went through in the past. I remember like the hustle. I remember the grind, because I was determined to learn and I was determined to excel. So you have to be in that desire of wanting that next level of your life. And so it's like, it's so easy. I'm in training today. I'm in training, in 3 different things. I'm reading a book. So I'm constantly growing. So you have to constantly self-develop. And if there's those 3 things, it has to be listening to a podcast, watching a YouTube training, reading a book, all personal development. So get a coach, get a mentor. Call us up. Call me and Laura up. We'll guide you. We're going to give you actually a link at the end where you can connect with us, because, you want to share now about what we're working on?
Yeah, well, a lot. We chose all the projects, but yes. So on one side, we're working on Willa, right? That is the nonprofit that is going to have a lot of workshops and things for women, personal and professional development. And then on Willa Connect, we're also working. We're planning our retreats.
Yes,
have fun, ladies. It's going to be a 3-day retreat that we are working on to help you excel in your business. So going from zero, like helping you plan who your really target market is, really define them, like learning how to create your personalized communications that to lead traffic and get, leads to convert into actual clients. And our idea is for you to leave with your hands full of material, learning experiences, support, and as well as a plan to create passive income from our retreat. So yeah, that's the short version.
It's all good. That was a perfect version. So yeah, I've been telling Laura that our goal is, because, if you're not thinking passive income, do you want to work for the rest of your life? Now, I mean, if you're a business owner, you have your own business, do you want to constantly show up, or do you want to be an investor? Investors in their companies are like, their business can run on automatic while they're still making money. And so you really want to get to that level of your business is running for you. It's not running you. And so I told Laura, I said, we have to get everybody in this passive income mindset, because that's where you need to be. We already know that inflation is going up. We know that things are getting more expensive. And so we want to take you and your business to the next level. And I have an amazing partner to do that with.
We love to have fun.
Yes. And so we do. We love to have fun. If you don't know this already about me, and now you know about Laura, we went up to the mountains recently to plan out some stuff for Wheela and Wheela Connects. And she brought, I was like, oh my goodness, I couldn't have picked a better partner. She brought construction paper. She brought markers. She brought pens. She brought Post-it. She brought highlighters.
Colorful pen with sparkles.
Yes. I was like, wow, she brought the creativity, but it was so fun. So we took that time to really focus and get, our thoughts, our ideas out and just come up with a plan. Cause I'm the very go, go, go. And she's like the planner. And so that's why it's like we, come together and just really build something amazing for Wheela. And we do have that retreat coming up in October. So if you're interested about that in that retreat, and you really want to excel your business to the next level, or you're looking to start your own business, then you definitely want to connect. And you can, I'm going to leave it in the description, but it's going to be francinayala.com/meant for more. So /meant for more, francinayala.com/meant for more. Okay. So before we start to wrap it up, I want to see if there are any questions for Laura. She is all about getting you out of your way, getting you out of your head so that you can move forward in whatever it is that you're looking to accomplish. So go ahead. If anybody's here, sometimes I can't see sometimes when you guys are following us, it'll pop up in the live chat. I think if you're on Facebook, and I want to say YouTube, but I think on LinkedIn, you can't leave comments that I can see. So definitely leave a comment, whether you do it live with us now or you do it later, we'll definitely get a response back to you. So, okay, Laura, let's go ahead and talk about lastly, as we're wrapping up here. If somebody is looking to, I'm going to kind of turn this around on you. If somebody's looking to take action in their business, or even not on their business, if they're looking to do something even bigger and greater, what 3 steps would you give them to take action now so that they can start seeing results?
Okay, that's a very broad question. You know me, I like to nail things down.
Yes, you do. I like to be broad and you like to bring things in. So
that's why I'm like, okay, let's be more specific. Can we? Yes. So first of all, be specific.
Be specific. All right. Let's talk about business. If somebody is looking to, let's say, okay, we talked about our, kind of like our avatar today, or about who our ideal audience is. Okay. She's a businesswoman who hates her job, and she's looking to excel in her own business as a confidence coach. What 3 steps would you give to her to start today so that she can start focusing on a business, to create a business of her own?
Okay, so the first thing, forget about you hating your job. See your job as the transportation that right now is going to support your lifestyle, while you really focus your time and energy in the thing that you want to accomplish. Because if you focus your time and energy complaining about your work and how much you hate it, it's going to be hard to put good energy into whatever project you're starting. So first of all, decide where you want to put your energy and be conscious about the type of energy that you are putting towards. So that would be my first suggestion. Then the second one, it's going to be something that we were talking today, and it's start before you're ready, right? You don't really need to quit your job in order to start. You don't need to have your website ready in order to start. You don't need to have anything fancy like marketing materials to start. And I'm saying that even though I do marketing and I do design, and I would be like, let's build you the website. But you don't need those stuff. Not in order to start. The first thing you want to start is by trying as much as you can. Go out there, talk to people, meet a lot of people, offer them free stuff. So why free stuff? Everyone wants to get to the paid version soon. And my recommendation would be to start at the very beginning, with free stuff because you really want to know who you're talking to. You really want to know what their pain points are. You really want to understand where are they coming from, especially if you're going to be doing coaching. Because if you're trying to guess what their pains are, if you're trying to guess what they're looking for, like, you're going to feel overwhelmed. And I can tell you, because I did coaching myself for a period of my life, within all the 1,000 things I did. And I was trying to figure out who my avatar was. I was trying to figure, okay, who am I helping? What are their problems? And it can go forever, honestly. And you know it because we talked about that recently, of course. So it will be get out, meet people, and really nail who you're going to be helping. And once you know who you're going to be working, that's when you spend time really like, okay, deciding how much is worth your time. What is the ecosystem that you want to build before putting yourself out there? It's like, okay, if I'm going to be doing one-on-one, how many one-on-ones I'm going to need in order to keep my lifestyle? Think tax, like, do your numbers, because most of the time what we end up doing is like, oh, I think people will pay X, and it doesn't matter how much people will pay if you cannot support your lifestyle. You need to figure out what is the structure that is going to support the life you want for yourself. Right. So I would say have that in consideration, because most people like skip that step. So those would be my top 3.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And this is going to wrap up our show for today. I know you guys, I know you want to work with us. We're actually pretty phenomenal. I mean, I'm just going to say that. So, but thank you.
So now coming up.
Yes. That was amazing though. I love that you gave them. So if you didn't hear that, definitely go back, listen to those amazing tips that she gave, because it ultimately will propel you forward. And it reminded me so much of when I used to drive Uber and Lyft in the beginning of my business back in 2016. I used to tell them, I'm going to have a nonprofit. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. So even if it's just speaking out what you want into existence, it'll happen. So just some amazing tips for you to follow. Again, if you are looking to excel in your business and you want us to take a look at what it is that you have, be sure to visit francinayala.com/meant-for-more. And if you want to personally connect with Laura, you can go to lauracastro.com as well. So Laura Castro, her name is up there. Woo. And then you can connect with her there. Let her know how amazing this show is. I know. Let us know in your comments.
You don't have ego, right?
Leave your comments. Let us know if you have any questions. We're so grateful you joined us. Thanks again, and we'll see you next week on You Were Meant for More. Have a blessed one. Take care. Bye.
I want to get to know what you do, what inspires you, what you enjoy.
My ability to lead really impacts women on a larger level, because not every woman has the same story or the same journey. So understanding where they've come from and where they want to go helps me be the leader that I can, so that I can show up in a space of authenticity for them.